Express 981. Rotus is in the house. Morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Lagos. I hope everybody is staying dry.
Yes, and keeping warm.
Traffic is not going to be funny this morning.
Well, Rotus, the rain hasn't deterred our analysts this morning, so we have the pleasure of the company of Wonu from StambicIBTC. Good morning, Wonu.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rotus. Good morning, Lagos.
Good to have you. We also have Ugo Dre in the house. Morning, Ugo.
Morning. Rotus owes me for this.
Charging
Bitcoins.
Yes. Well, I'll find a way to pay back. Ugo, of course, Nairametrics. Wonola can be head of institutional sales, with for global markets at Stambic, right?
Correct. Yep.
Excellent.
So if you'd like to get involved in the conversation this morning, please send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 444 0981. On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag Business Express 981. And of course, on YouTube, we're streaming live. So watch and send your messages through.
All right. I think the stock market bounced back yesterday. 1% is what the Australian index, as far as growth is concerned. Back and forth we go on the markets. We're focusing on fixed income today. Wanola, tell us what's the temperature of investors? What are they telling you? How are you seeing fund flows? What's going on? And then how they're seeing us as Nigeria as a base for where to put their money.
Well, I mean, at the moment, investors are more risk neutral because there are a lot of things happening in the global economy. I mean, all prices have moved up. I think like around 68 currently, because of what happened to the Saudi Aramco drone bombing.
Right.
And I would have expected that would have spurred a lot of inflows. But I mean, what investors are just saying is that this could actually go into a full-blown war, which is not good for emerging markets generally. So I mean, that definitely is not so encouraging for us. Currently, we've seen yields inch wider. I mean, on the one-year T-bills, currently around 15.4%. We do know that obviously the CBN, I mean, would do all to defend the currency
at a high cost.
Well,
at a high cost, but so I agree. They'll do what they can. They've been doing it for a while now.
But generally, we were starting to see. I mean, if you look at last 2 months, we've seen over $3 billion leave the system. We're hoping that, I mean, as the OMO maturities come into play, some of them would roll. Since the beginning of the week, we've seen a bit of outflows as well. We then do know that, I mean, that obviously would put CBN under a bit of pressure. Now, question is the 15.4 yields sufficient? I think for now, I mean, it's sufficient enough to keep some of them. But are we going to see a lot of inflows? I doubt that for now. We still have room for interest rates to move wider. Another line of defense for the CBN, obviously, is to rediscount the OTC futures market. And that's really where some of these investors also hedge their investment. The cost of hedging is just about 1%.
Okay.
So it's a very cheap hedge for them to do. And if the CBN keeps rediscounting, then it even becomes cheaper. Currently, we have over about $10 billion outstanding futures maturity. So we do expect that some of them will be keen to roll over those. If that doesn't work as well, CBN then keep burning through
our reserves.
Yeah, I mean, that's really come down quickly from about 45, currently around $42 billion.
So it's an interesting time. Ugo Dre, how do you think foreign investors? Why are you seeing things with where things are with them? Is Nigeria encouraging to any of the folks that are offshore right now? How do you see it?
Well, I doubt it. I mean, if you're a foreign investor, would you want to put your money in here?
Yeah.
I mean, but then I mean the yields are there. Nigeria is just one of those very few countries around the world today where you can still get double-digit yields, of course, bearing any foreign exchange risk. So, and then global economy is in some kind of state of flux. So everybody's worried. Nobody knows what's happening. I think a few days ago, the U.S. Treasury, also, the U.S. Fed
Pumped some money into their
economy,
something that we're used to seeing here.
Yeah. So a lot of the things that we see here just happened there. And everybody's like, hey, what's going on? So there's a bit of turmoil out there. People might be worried. Of course, the China-U.S. trade war is hanging in there. Brexit is hovering as well. well, and then this latest spat between the US and Iran. Nobody knows where that's going to end up. So there's a bit of concern, globally. So and Nigeria as well. I mean, you have a new government, a bit of political stability, but then policy flip flops here and there. There's this new one that CBN issued 2 days ago that
The
sort of like
charges
people
of
are still
it.
trying to figure out,
Yeah.
what it's about. So these things are happening, and if you're a foreign investor and you're seeing all these headwinds, you're like, look, just hold on, like leave Nigeria first.
I have a message. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manuela, as well. A message from Isaac. Yeah.
Yes, Isaac says, my take here is that the dollar may likely strengthen and the naira may be under intense pressure. I advocate as individuals we keep some foreign exchange in dollars to cash on any unusual movements.
So, Manuela, let me start with you. If I go to Audrey, with the D word, the devaluation word, how do you see things as far as Isaac's message and the dollar versus us? I mean, we can't predict, but who knows? I mean, if you look at the signs, what do you think?
Well, I mean, prior to what happened on Friday with oil spiking over 60, I was a bit skeptical because I mean anything around $50 or $45 would definitely spur significant outflows, and that would definitely spur a deval. I mean, the CBN had indicated that to investors, so it's maybe high line of defenses, reserves below 30 billion, or below all around 45 or below 50, he would definitely then consider like a 10% deval. So, but now, I mean, with what is happening with the oil, I think we still have enough resource to actually sustain the currency for like another 6 months, and then we then just watch what then happens to oil again,
Okay.
Because typically for
yeah.
foreign portfolio investors, Nigeria is an oil trade. It's not really about the trade wars. It's just more.
So where oil goes, when it's up, then they are
I
more
mean, it's just
optimistic.
perfectly correlated.
Yeah.
So wherever oil price goes, that's where you see the exchange rate going as well. So oil price drops, just like he explained. Same thing. You expected that D word that I definitely despise to happen.
All right, I have to shout out to Ayo Ese from who sent a tweet yesterday about the daily cash limits for the charges that the CBN sent the circular about being cumulative per day. Remember, somebody sent in a message saying, "Okay, can I break my deposit or withdraw?" We're laughing about it, saying that okay, for the 500,000 thing, do 250, and it's and which makes sense. It's cumulative. So whoever that was, I can't remember who sent in that message. If you don't do it in the same day, right? So what do you guys think about those charges? Anyway, I have to get your thoughts. The CBN had to. I mean, folks are saying it's probably because of revenue challenges. Others are saying it's the cashless policy. What do you guys think? But these are two big boys in the studio. So these gentlemen are the ones who are making the over 500K deposits into the bank. So I asked them, so where are you on what do you think?
Well, I think it's too early to analyze this because I mean, we're still more cash-based economy.
Right.
Fine, in Lagos, it's fine. But I mean, in other parts of the country, I'm not sure how sustainable this would be. However, I mean, this will benefit definitely the banks, it will benefit the fintechs, because they'll make more revenues on charges on transfers. And so I think ultimately is where we should be. But how soon this would, I don't know, maybe we might even say backtrack from the CBN, because I mean, like I said, I don't think it's so sustainable outside Lagos.
Okay, Ugo, what do you think?
I think I mean, like, in as much as this is just charges, this looks like another form of taxation, right? And it's just punitive, just too punitive. So if the idea is to somehow maybe move us closer to a cashless society, I don't think they're gonna get this out of this new policy, because it's hugely disincentive. So you're asking yourself, like, look, so to deposit money now, I have to basically take a hit.
Right.
Withdrawal is a different thing, but to deposit money. So I mean, I thought that the idea around cashless is, okay, all the cash that I have, let me just put it in the bank, so that I don't have to carry it. So now what am I going to do? I'm just going to keep it to myself, right? So and then all these charges that I'm going to have to pay, who is it going to? Is it going to go to the banks? Is it going to the government? And then of course I'm also being taxed for ATM withdrawals and VAT and stamp duty. And I mean, it's just too much. I can understand that the government is, on a serious revenue drive, but at the end of the day, you look at all these policies and you ask yourself, I mean, like, what's the focus really? Like, where do you have, a balance here? So you're trying to drive cashless policy, but then you're you're basically, penalizing people for depositing cash into the bank. So, I mean, it's just counterintuitive as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, guys.
Right, Yinka has something to say
Yes.
with regards to your comment, Ugo, about US and Iran blues ending up when he says according to him, half of all Business Express listeners are praying it ends in another Gulf War so that the entire Middle East oil production goes south.
Yinka wants the price of oil to spike so that our revenues go. But of course, we always say this, although the flip side of that joke is that oil
Subsidy,
prices, the subsidy
fuel
increases.
prices,
On the other, on the flip side.
Rainmaker says, what's the discussion on the Fed's on rate yesterday? I believe that the fixed income space will still maintain this turn and is slightly improve for the rest of the year. The only encumbrance is the flip-flop of policy and misdirections by people who run this economy. But to be fair, the people who want to edge a market like ours with a low percentage hedge will be attractive to investors. This is how most VCs and hedge funds in the UK and Europe improve their alpha.
All right, thank you for that, Rainmaker.
Benga says you go to Ibadan to withdraw the money. So your state is not one of the states.
I don't think so, at least for now.
For
but
now.
the rest of them, I believe, is March of 2020 when it's full blown across.
So enjoy till 2020.
Yeah, until March. You guys, funny, you're 1 minute. Are you serious? Okay, wait. I guess what can we talk about in 1 minute? Ugo, how you feeling on the equity side? Market is still down about 12-13%. Where are you?
I mean, like 6 feet pole, like don't touch it, don't even go there yet. I mean, that ordinary, that would be the what you want to do, what you think. But I don't think I've seen it this bad. It's been, the bearish market has been there for too long, and people are like, come on now, give us a headroom. Like when will things just turn around? And typically you see this, kind of volatility and cycle, but it's just been on a downturn, all through. So you really don't know whether if you buy shares now, prices probably keep still going down.
Right.
And the funny thing is that stocks are actually cheap, like historically cheap. It's incredible. So bottom lines are going up. Companies are making profits, as much as revenues are dipping, but companies are making. But then their share price is just not encouraging out there. I mean, you also look at yields. It's okay. Are you maybe if you're getting hit from share price, maybe with dividend yields going up, but then still not encouraging. You're still seeing yields at 7-8%.
I
don't know.
Of course, we'll not allow you are a fixed income guy, so you naturally you will be on the other side.
I envy you.
Wonola can be of Stanbic, Aruoture of Nairametrics. Thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us this rainy morning. And thanks for your messages as well. Yinka, Cruz, Benjamin, Shani, who else is there? Benga, Kamo. Thanks, we appreciate it.
All of them.
All of them as well.
Thank you, Lagos. At 7:30, we bring you Freshly Pressed 981. And before then, some nice music as you go on your way to work, or if you're still at home or already at work. Morning.
All right. We'll go. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.